Welcome to Design and Style Visibility Stories. Design and Style is a podcast for designers by designers, with co-hosts Dixie Willard from Dixie Willard Design and Rachel Moriarty from Rachel Moriarty Interiors. The Design and Style Visibility Stories are brought to you today by the Design and Style Visibility Lab. The Visibility Lab is the only membership group that focuses on the latest strategies and tools to help you get more visible while showcasing your specific brilliance. We've got weekly online office hours with both of us, monthly topics, in-depth worksheets, and exclusive monthly trainings. Today on Visibility Stories, we have Jessica Duce of JDuce Design. Based in Parker, Colorado, just outside of Denver, her full-service interior design firm does both residential and commercial design. This last year, she added a specialty in VRBO and Airbnb design, which she'll be telling us about here shortly, with projects in Colorado, Nebraska, Arizona, Oregon, and California. Jessica is also a Revolution Performance Fabric brand ambassador and the very newest chapter of Savvy Giving by Design in Colorado.
So Jess, we want to hear a little bit about your business and your origin visibility story. Where tell us how it started, where you're
how
at,
it all
where you're
began.
going. Let's get into it.
I like to tell how my very first appointment I was fired at because I was 12 years old. My mom was an interior designer, and my job was to carry in the fabric books. And I felt so confident growing up with my mom as a designer that we went into the lady's house, and I immediately started giving my input. And she asked me to go wait in the car.
Oh.
So that is my first interior design experience.
That's so funny.
But I learned a valuable lesson. Yeah. You have to learn when to be quiet. So when to just listen. Mm-hmm. So I definitely graduated from my mother's school of design.
Yeah, that's great. Great story.
Then I, of course, thought I never was going to be a designer. I was going to be an archaeologist. And then I found out that it's a lot of digging in the dirt with no money. So I went back to my roots.
I love it. I love it. So we met in person on a couple of years. Has it been a couple of years now?
Like 3.
Wow.
Right?
We met on Jackie Von Tobel's VIP tour to Las Vegas Market, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Such a great experience. And I've told you several times that I knew that she was one smart cookie when I met her. she was just impressed me so much. And
vodka does that.
Stripper poles and buses, remember? So
hey, we know how to do market.
We got picked up, and there was like this bus blaring AC/DC Back in Black, and there was like a stripper pole in it. It was hysterical. Oh my gosh. So that was how we met, and we've continued to stay in touch, which has been so great. And I just love what you're doing now, and I really, really want to talk about it. So were you doing commercial? Were you working for a firm then? I can't remember.
The very first time I went to market, I was working for a design firm. And then my husband was transferred to Denver, Colorado.
Right.
And I had to start over. And I went back on my own and had a brief moment like, I'm just never going to do this again. I was so successful there. And it all worked out.
It always does.
Yep. Yeah. When I met you, I had, was now back on my own.
Got it. So so you moved to a new place. How did you get started? You must have gone to chamber meetings, or did you do in person? Did you do online? How did you get visible?
Kind of along the lines of what you said. It's hard. It's hard when you move and your business is based on relationships and resources, and you don't know what you're doing. And I was very intimidated at first because Denver's a big place and there's a lot of us. And I immediately joined the chamber in my town, which, didn't really pan out, but I, made some relationships and got brave, put on my big girl pants. I listened to Wendy the other day on Luann, and she talked about getting brave and going to the design center. And that's what I had to do because you get insecure.
Yeah.
And it just kind of started trickling in, created my website. That really changed it. And just these little jobs started coming in, and I actually ended up getting my first VRBO clients from a client I had never worked for in another state. And they had asked me to help them. And then they weren't even Colorado based. And then it just went from there.
What does VRBO?
I was going to say, for the people who don't know.
Yeah.
Vacation rental by owner property. And it's similar to Airbnb. What I would say the difference is that VRBOs tend to be a whole home that you rent, and Airbnb tends to be like a space that you rent. But Airbnb is going after VRBO with Airbnb Plus, and that's their direct competition for large spaces as a whole that you could rent that are special.
So something like when I have all of my family come here for Thanksgiving, and there are probably close to 40 or 50 of us, we could rent somewhere and all of us hang out there.
Yes.
That kind of thing?
Yes, you're getting the whole house. And so when we prepare a VRBO, we want to think of everything. The games for the kids, the towels for the hot tub. We have one house has a collection of kites and bikes, and you try to make it unique to where the house is so that they have a vacation experience.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love your niche. I really do.
Thank you.
Really embraced it. I know you're going after it, even going into the deeps on it big time.
I totally stumbled into it. Did I tell you my story of how my very first one, I thought for sure they were going to say thanks, but no thanks?
No.
All comes down to confidence. But the very first one I had, they said, it's a 10,000 square foot house. We need flooring. We don't want to make a mistake. So they flew me to the property from Denver in Oregon and said, pick out the flooring. And I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Flew out there and I'm like, the flooring's not the problem. So I didn't know these people, and I'm walking around the house, and that's the only reason I'm there is for flooring. And I said, it's lipstick on a pig. The flooring isn't the problem. It's all the furnishings and the paint. And then I waited to be, asked to leave.
Escorted out.
And they said, okay, do the house. We'll trust you. And that's how it started. So
wow.
Trust your gut, I guess.
So good, though.
Did you do the flooring too in that space?
No.
No, you left the flooring and changed everything else? Stop it.
Everything. This home has people that come visit it year after year. It's been a VRBO for a while. And I can tell you they doubled the rent after we were all done. Wow. They're doing amazing, amazing reviews. But people that would come in that had been there before was like, it's not even the same house. And so that's big compliments.
Yeah.
But it's not like you just go decorate. No. I spent a day with housekeeping. You have to know what is best in a 10,000 square foot house, and you have 4 hours to flip it. And 24 people were there. Yep. You have to kind of have some tricks and know what products work and what's your backup, what's your not, where you spend the money. It's taken some time, but there's a lot to it.
I love that you talk to the people that turn those rooms or turns that house. I think that's so smart. And you did a live with me. I was doing a short-term rental week because I suddenly got 3 clients that had, Airbnb rooms, like a granny flat and guest room. And I was like, I think I feel like there's a kind of a surge of short-term rentals.
Absolutely.
And so I was like, this is really cool. I really, really I know you do the big spaces, but I think it's really cool to do. It's like a hybrid of residential and hospitality and marketing, which I love. And I love that you get the feedback. I love, there's like so much about it. It's really a neat niche to be in.
Oh, I love it. I took it really seriously because I just fell in love with the niche, and I went to the New York hospitality conference and, spent as much time, picking the brains of all of these people or these companies that focus on hotels, and to see what I could steal, not steal, but, adopt into what we do. So we have automated soap dispensers in our rooms now, or, you know, in our showers, and it's easier for housekeeping. So it just goes on and on. To your point, the hospitality meets residential and marketing.
Meets really business,
Yeah.
because you know, yours is obviously an investment property, but mine, it's like they go from homeowner to micro entrepreneur all of a sudden,
Mhm.
and they have this whole, you know, business thing they have to deal with, and learn the platform, and learn, you know, what kind of feedback you get, and keep
Right.
those bathrooms, like where to focus when you're turning that space, you know, focus on those bathrooms, and, you know, blackout curtains, and, you know, and it's been so fun to hear the feedback that my clients get, that I'm sure you just totally geek out, because you do it on such a bigger scale than I do.
Totally geek out. After a stay, I'm like checking to see if there's any reviews. Did they leave a note? Like, it doesn't get old. I agree.
I know. I would have never thought that short-term rental would have been such a fun thing. So how are you getting the word out? I know you've got some big projects. You've got several big projects. How do you get the word out? Is it by referral right now?
So I had a great owner that I've worked for that has a couple of properties. You know how every so often you get those amazing people you work for? And I got that. I feel lucky. And the property manager that manages a lot of properties liked what I was doing and hired me and introduced me to some investors, and we're going from there. And their goal is to have 10 by the end of the year. So
So that's a good, if someone
Mhm.
else wants to be in that niche. I mean, you just mentioned property managers, investors, you
Mhm.
know, good people to know, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, when it slows down a little bit, that is my goal, is you can actually go and see the property managers in your area through the VRBO website and send them a note. I mean, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you just look at the pictures. I was looking at some homes when I first started. There's unmade beds. There's like a Coke can on the counter, and you know those horrible staging photos that we make fun
Right.
of? Those are on VRBO, and they want you to
don't
rent
do
their
that.
house.
We don't do that.
It's like, so target those people first.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
It's amazing to me, but they don't see it. They don't see it. So we're their eyes.
Well, it's interesting. I have one space that I've done that has 3 guest bedrooms that have turned into income streams. And one of them always sells out. Always, always, always. And then there's one that the middle child, and then there's like one that never gets picked, only if the other 2 are sold. So I'm like always going back to the photos, like, what is it about? Because it's in the photos.
Yeah.
The rooms are pretty much, you know, so
Yeah.
I'm like, what is
Yeah,
it
if you
about
did the
this
rooms,
space?
I'm sure they're beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So so I think we're going to go in and repaint and take some photos and maybe add like the garden to it, because there's you know,
Mhm.
so it's just interesting. That's what I love about these projects, is that sort of like, there's a little photo styling involved, which I love.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just everything. It's fun.
So it needs like its own little space or little quirky, unique thing.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's awesome. So you're doing that. You also are sharing with us a new venture you have, which is incredible. You want to tell us?
Which one? Oh my gosh, I'm so proud.
I know.
Denver
Pick
chapter, Savvy Giving by Design. I am so proud to launch the chapter for them in Denver for Savvy Giving.
So did you meet, I know we were all at the Design Bloggers Conference, and Susan Winterstein did an amazing, she had all of us bawling. Was that the first time you met her?
Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay. That was the first time I met her, and I had a crowd. Oh, no. I met her in Vegas.
Okay.
And then
Yes.
I got to see her again at the Bloggers Conference, and I'm like, when I get around her, I'm like a schoolgirl. I have such a crush on her.
Right. She's amazing.
She is. She's amazing, and I love what she's doing. I cry at every video of somebody she's helped, and
yes.
It touched me because both of my parents were diagnosed with cancer a week apart. And so we would take turns on who would take my stepmom or my dad to chemo. And it went on for a year. And I remember like it never dawned on me to improve the space or add seating or, make the space cheery because I was so caught up in the moment and it was hell. And so watching that, like to be that outsider that can help those people, because this is what I do for a living and it didn't even dawn on me to help the surroundings. So I want to share that and pass it on.
You have such a great perspective about it too, from, it's crazy to think what you have to go through sometimes and then use your gift in a totally different way.
Right. So we're having our first board meeting next week and we'll get it going. It takes a little time with the paperwork and then we're going to start our fundraising, and I would love to be helping, those that need it this fall. That's the goal.
Are you creating a group around it? How are you going to get the word out?
Susan, this is a machine. This is a true business. We have legal docs, 501c. We have a fundraising platform that we do. And this isn't just, free for all these chapters that she has. I mean, we all need to fundraise and do all this, and which is fine. It's just, it's not an easy task, but it's going to be so worth it. But she has, has a lot of things set up for us to figure out how to do it. It just takes some time. Yeah. But they'll see me kind of asking for help through Facebook, through our donation pages and things like that. So I'm warning you ahead of time that you'll probably get some emails. So sorry.
We're happy to. We're more than happy to.
We like to share the journey too.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's great. I've been part of her group here in San Diego, and I love how she runs it. I've, what do you call it? Funda room or something.
Yes.
Some of our local San Diego designers have taken sibling spaces here. So I just love her whole model. I'm so happy that you are part of that team.
Thank you.
It's amazing. It says a lot about you and your heart as well.
Thank you. My lead designer, Kathy, and I can't wait to get it going. I said, what do you think about this? Because this would affect our work. And she's like, there's no hesitation. We're doing this. So it's good.
Yeah. So
Thank
awesome. You. And you have another huge announcement.
I'm kind of in love with Revolution Fabrics, and I'm very excited to say that I'm their newest design ambassador, brand ambassador. So
for people that don't know, share what Revolution Fabrics is.
Revolution Fabrics, the owners started it in Durango, Colorado. It's all made in the USA. Basically, it's kind of indestructible, which is great for my business. I want to use it in VRBOs. We actually are doing an order right now with a bunch of sofas because the mindset is to kind of have a more disposable furniture, and we want to have long-term with Revolution Fabrics. And these are fabrics that you can wash and dry, clean and blot, and they won't stain. And they're beautiful. They're soft to the touch. And again, made in the USA. And it's just a great company. They just really want to do good. And how often do you get to say that?
That's a perfect pairing for what you do.
And they also support Savvy Giving. So, and that the two marriages were not related for me. I was having entirely separate conversations. So it's just a little serendipity there. It's neat. Mm-hmm.
So how did you get to be a design ambassador? What was your journey to get there?
Honestly, and Rachel and I are in a couple groups together, and I'd heard talking about Revolution Fabrics, and I didn't know what they were. And we were all at the bloggers conference, including Flat Dixie. So thank you for that, Flat Dixie.
And she can go to places I can't. I really
She's a drinker, let me tell you, but that's a whole nother story. I met Jill for Revolution Fabrics at the bloggers conference, and we just started talking, and I told her what I do and what a great use that fabric would be for, what I'm trying to do, because like for us, we have a stack of like 20 pillow covers to do a quick flip. So perfect. And we followed up after the bloggers conference, and it happened from there. And, you know, I did have a coaching session with Rachel. I have to throw that out there. Rachel, I know you don't, you know, but Rachel coaches, and Rachel encouraged me to kind of look into this niche and the resources and share my story. And that's exactly what I did. I sent a follow-up email to them and said, I just think this is a perfect marriage. And it happened. So, and our first house with a majority of Revolution fabrics will open at the end of July.
That's going to be amazing for them as well. I mean, I think that I'm just seeing it, you know, of course it's a collaboration, and I'm just imagining that they're going to be able to, you know, maybe say, oh, there's a new niche that maybe we hadn't thought about as well.
I hope so. I have big dreams. Because honestly, there is specific like furniture needs that help in these vacation rentals, down to the dimensions and swivel chairs, and there's really is. And so I can dream big, right? Maybe a VRB or like a vacation rental line with
yes.
Yes.
If anybody's listening out there.
Yes. Licensing. Yep. I see licensing in your future.
Yeah, there is. I definitely think, I mean, there's like 3 million VRBOs worldwide. There was 1 million when it started. So things are happening.
Yeah. No, it's huge. I think it's amazing. Well, you are so impressed. You're still continuing to impress me.
Back at you.
Honestly, you really are. You just blow me away. I am so excited to see. I mean, this has just happened in the last couple of months. This is so huge.
Pinching myself.
And I love, it's just weird. Sorry, I just got like a vision.
She does that a lot.
Sorry, I got distracted by my vision.
Was it the tingly kind?
Yes, it's kind of the goosebumpy kind. Yeah, I just know that these things are going to create just huge opportunities for you. So I'm excited for you. I'm going to be watching for you to step up your visibility. I know you're very busy on tight deadlines now, but just so you know, I've got eyes on you.
I struggle with that. It's like, who wants to listen to me?
My mom.
Yeah.
That's right, Rachel's mom.
So for anybody, I did a series on short-term rentals on my daily live streams, and I just happened to, you and I were just like messaging. I said, hey, do you want to hop on? We were like totally in sync. I said, do you want to, you know, be a guest on my live stream? She's like, sure. She hops on, and my mom has been quoting you since then. It's so funny. You've got it going on, girl.
I think that's proof positive that people want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Tell your mom if I do this, she's my first guest.
Yes.
I would love it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to start. Hashtag Rachel's mom. It's happening.
This is happening. I love it.
You've got so much potential. And I've got to say, just living somewhere where there are a ton of big rentals available for people because they come here to vacation. Such a huge market. Such a huge market.
Let's do this.
We can do this.
Yeah, totally can do this.
Franchise.
Come on, guys. Sky's the limit.
Yep.
Dream big.
All right.
Hashtag
I'm in.
Visibility works.
Big. Hashtag Rachel's mom.
Hashtag visibility works.
Yes. You guys are doing a great job. I love what you're doing and helping people with this platform. I have to tell you, like,
thank you.
You know, I was an early in on Design and Style, and chickened out through halfway through the very first visibility challenge. So
you weren't the only one.
But you got us to do it. I didn't even know Facebook Live existed till you guys.
Wow.
So.
Wow. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jess. We are going to be supporting you along your journey, and we're excited to see where it takes you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're awesome.